Hi, in this video I'm going to cover some of the age verification methods and the guidelines regarding the Online Safety Act implementation. Now, much of this information comes from Ofcom's own document, and they're calling it HEAA requirements, and that stands for Highly Effective Age Assurance. Now, if you see this acronym bombing around, HEAA, you can know it's to do with how websites and other online resources assess our ages. So, okay, first of all, before we go into these methods, I just need to point out the huge, and I mean huge, elephant in the room regarding the Online Safety Act is that the VPN factor. A VPN is a virtual private network, which basically bypasses age verification systems. A VPN works by encrypting internet traffic and routing it through a server operated by the VPN service. It sounds complicated, but it really isn't. In fact, it's usually just like a click of a button. This process effectively hides your real IP address and location, and making you appear from somewhere else. Now, I can make it appear whether I'm from France or Belgium or USA, or indeed the UK. The problem with these age verification systems is that 99% of them rely on IP address location to determine where you are to see if they have to enact this law. So basically, they check if you're in the UK before they put the age verification. If you're not in the UK, you don't have to do it. I'll show you quickly what I mean about this now. I can't go to the age verification pages, but I'll show you a few websites that have decided against implementing age verification, and they're just blocking UK visitors. And you see this one. This is an AI art zoom. They can't be bothered or they don't have the resources, to be fair, to implement the age verification. So they're just blocking anybody from UK. Here's another one. Is a pattern. I think they do bead patterns and completely harmless sites. No reason why it should have age verification or block, but there's a lot of threats in the Online Safety Act to content providers. If there's any areas where people can upload their own content, the site owner can be held responsible. So lots are worried about it. So let me just show you here. So those two sites there. Let me just show you the VPN I use. I use NordVPN, biggest in the world, I think, or close to. Discount link in the description below if you want to try it. Here's the. It's not the full program. This I generally use the browser extension that you get free with NordVPN, and here it is. It just sits up in my Chrome bar, and if I want to connect to another country, let's just click on France here. I can click and connect to a French VPN server. Then it'll look like I'm in France. Let me just wanted to show you quickly how it works. Now, this would work the same on age verification. It would bypass those, but they're all adult sites. My channel gets blocked if I go to them on YouTube. But let me just show you here. Let's refresh this AI page. See, it said access restricted to UK visitors. Now it doesn't, because it thinks I'm in France, and France hasn't got this silly rule. So it works perfectly. Let's go to this malevolent patterns site and refresh that. And now you can go in and you can download all these bead patterns, whatever they are. And that's because they think I'm in I think I'm in France now, so the age verification and the Online Safety Act doesn't apply. That is the big problem with this act. And everybody's got VPNs. I've used a VPN for 20 years. All my friends have got VPNs. We use it to quite often watch UK television when we're on holiday and stuff like that. My children have had VPNs for God knows how long. One of them used to use it to access a certain Minecraft server, I believe. VPNs are part of kids' vocabulary. And they can just bypass that. It says it makes it difficult for platforms to accurately assess the age, because they just people connect to a VPN and the rule doesn't apply, and that's what's happening. Okay, let's move on. So what is required as the highly effective age assurance methods? So first of all, really the categories are things like pornography, self-harm material, suicide content, eating disorder, very vague, harmful material. Fine, you know, this is all common sense. We don't want our children accessing this, and this is meant to prevent 18 access. So how do these age assurance methods work? Right, so they must be technically accurate. So they must reliably distinguish between adults and minors with high precision. Okay, sounds logical. Robust and resilient, must resist bypass attempts and technical workarounds. This ultimately, every single age verification method I've seen that's implemented by the Online Safety Act fails because a VPN bypasses all of them, as far as I've seen anyway. Consistency, reliable, so they must work properly against different user scenarios and stuff like that. And they must be fair and unbiased, so they shouldn't sort of distinguish with people who've got disabilities or learning problems, you know, stuff like that. So it's got to be based on age there and all other things. They've got to treat people equally, which is, again, fair enough. There's a specification, simple age declarations. You know, the websites used to say, are you 18? Or they put something like, what is your birth date? And you'd have to put it in. And very basic payment checks are not compliant. You can't do that anymore. Okay, so acceptable methods and something about the privacy considerations here. So what they're expecting you to do is do things like upload government ID. So put your passport and your driving license up there to prove your age, quite often with double checks with taking your photo to see if they match. Quite similar to lots of financial institutions use, like Know Your Customers, KYC, and this obviously works, but it also relies that you have to upload your driving license and passports onto, let's say, an adult website that you probably don't want to put it in there. It's very worrying. Not many people would want to do this, I would think. This method, certainly. Biometric AI estimation. These are things like you look at the camera and you get AI to estimate your age. This sounds more fairer, really, because you don't have to put loads of personal and private information. And a few websites have used these, but rarely on their own. There is a big problem. This is easy to bypass, people have found anyway. For instance, there's a computer program called Death Stranding, where you can have what users have been doing, children have been doing, have point their picture at the character in this, and you can control the character's facial expressions and stuff like that. And he obviously looks over 18. And it bypasses quite a lot of these biometric AI estimation. And what's going to happen is we're going to have AI trying to check somebody's age, and we're going to have people using AI and imaging and video applications to bypass it. I don't know where that'll end, some sort of terrible technological standoff, I would think, really. But I can't see this working. I think just kids, they've already bypassed it within, I think, the first day somebody found this app on a game, and God knows what they're going to find in a few weeks or months or years. Payment verification, yes, it works. If you've got a credit card and you can make one of these micro payments, then yeah, that could confirm your adult status, and some websites have done that. Again, you know, I don't mind using a credit card to verify my identity on a banking site or something that I trust perhaps will look after my data. I'm not sure I want to on things like forums and adult sites and all sorts of like flaky sites. The best, most highly secure websites in the world have been hacked, and personal details have been stolen from in millions, and it's been happening for donkey's years. And these are the best of the best. The sites we're talking about are just not going to look after your data, and I would suggest you were mad to upload anything like that to some of these sites. And digital identity wallets. Again, this one sounds good. What I'm talking about is sites like this, where you upload all your data to like a central app, like a digital ID wallet. This is, I think, where governments want us to go. and this is the sort of citizen's ID. Again, though, you have to put all your data on there, and you're basically creating an app that gives full access to your identity. So, I mean, governments, the EU, and everybody have always wanted these citizens' IDs, and these are the same things. So there's some big drawbacks there as well, but at least you're not uploading confidential information to a dodgy website, but you'd have to trust these implicitly. And that's basically it. Now sites like Reddit have, for instance, required UK users to submit a selfie and then a document to match it. It's like these, I use one for banking and crypto sites and stuff like that. Just a quick mention, 69%, there was a survey done, and 69% of people support age checks in principle. Only 19% of those people would willingly submit proof of age for adult websites. Of course, there's lots more issues about just your data. You know, there's the privacy aspect. These adult sites are perfectly legal. Why should the government or other these sites know who's using these sites? And of course, for lots of sectors of society, it's quite difficult. You know, they want to keep this information private, especially sort of in different communities, a lesbian and gay, for instance, of people who have not come out and they want to use sites like this. It's going to be very awkward for people to do that sort of thing, really. The implementation of the government say must follow data protection by design principles, aligning with GDPR and ICO guidelines. Yeah, sure. But to be fair, some politicians have raised concerns about potential privacy issues, especially with ID scans and biometric methods. Okay, quickly to finish off, early impact in implementing changes, right? VPN usage we've mentioned. It's basically a bypass of everything. You don't have this law applied to if you use a VPN in 99.9% of situations. There is talk now about putting age verification to VPNs or banning them. Madness, utter madness. Going to send Britain back to a technological stone age for a start. We can't do that. VPNs are used throughout the world, throughout business, for security and keeping data safe. We're not going to ban that. Okay, so basically, traffic reduction. Some adult sites have reported up to about 47-50% traffic reduction. Obviously, because people go to their favourite adult website to watch a movie or a clip and they don't want to put their passport in. Fine, you get that. VPN usage has increased. Some VPN companies, I think Proton VPN, recorded huge rises in the use of VPNs. Something like 62% more people using VPNs now than previously. 38 using proxies, which are the VPN's little brother. They will hide your location, but they don't encrypt your data, so they're not really as secure. But you can often get these for free. User verification acceptance an increase in about 19%. Lots of critics here. The policy is very, very overreaching, and it's actually sort of stopping legitimate content, chasing it off the web as well. Okay, so Ofcom maintains that these measures will align with free speech protections. I don't agree. While fulfilling their primary purpose of safeguarding children, I don't think they do. Any child over 8 years old has got the capacity and the ability to use a VPN, and some of them have been using them for years anyway. So until that's solved, I don't think this makes sense. Okay, thanks for listening. I hope I haven't gone so long, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.